Hey guys, it's Caleb. This is a preview of the second part of our ongoing Beast Week collaboration project with our friends over at the Worst of All Possible World. In it, we cover season 2 of Jimmy Donaldson's Beast Games, such as it is. You know Josh, obviously. He's been on the show a million times. He has the show he co-hosts with June Ill Conceived. You may remember Brian. He's been on the show a few times. Wonderful guy. Such a treat to listen to him talk. He's so thoughtful. I love it. And I finally got to meet AJ, who, we've been collaborating with those guys for years at this point, I think. And somehow that just never happened. So a lot of fun. So check this full episode out over at patreon.com/worst of all.
My name is Josh Foreman. I am the co-host of the Worst of All Possible Worlds, but you can call me the Worst of All Possible Joshes.
Oh my God, can he do that?
We partnered with one of the most influential internet culture podcasts out there.
That's crazy.
In what might be the biggest, most audacious crossover ever attempted in the world of podcasting.
Oh my God, can they do that?
Gosh.
At the end of this episode, I'm going to be taking off my pants and whipping my cock out. You're all gonna get a great look at it.
Is that his penis?
I don't want that. Can we stop that?
But before we get there, we might as well roll the theme song. Let's go!
So many possible worlds, but we got this one. So many possible worlds, but we got this one.
Welcome to the Worst of All Possible Worlds, the first and only game show podcast. I'm the Worst of All Possible Joshes.
I'm the worst of all possible AJs.
And I'm the worst of all possible Brians.
And joining us for a very sedate episode, I am beyond thrilled to, well, first of all, welcome our guests, of course, for a continuation of Beast Week, the week in which we dig into Jimmy, Mr. Beast Donaldson.
The week in which we beast.
They are the co-hosts of Kill the Computer, a podcast about how the internet spills out into the real world. We're thrilled to have them both on for what I think is going to be an amazing collaboration. Please welcome June and Caleb.
Hey.
Yo.
I watched Beast Games Season 2 like a month ago, and I've been vibrating to talk about this. I could not wait. I am so excited to talk about this. Caleb and I are the exact opposite right now, I feel like.
That's the thing. We had you on last year, June, to talk about Beast Games Season 1.
Yeah.
But we really wanted to sweeten the deal here. So we wanted to bring Caleb in as well, who, of course, we previously had on to talk about Richard Russell, the Sky King of Seattle. Caleb, how are you feeling today?
Somehow this makes me want to kill myself more than the Richard Russell episode. If there's anything better than like watching 20 hours of Mr. Beast in a week or whatever, it's doing it with the commentary of like a baby in his late 30s. So you guys are in for a treat.
Now, Caleb, do you want to keep recording this podcast with us? Or will you take these $200,000 that is rolling in to quit the podcast right now?
Okay, so everybody here is talking about this Beast Game Season 2, and I don't know what any of you are talking about because I watched Beast Game Strong Smart.
True.
I was fucking screaming that the entire season. He was like, wow, that's what a smart person would do. Wow. I can't believe the moves the strong people are doing.
You are going to have to work to be smart, and only the smart people know what a triangle is.
And if you remember season 1, they did smart people challenges where they did like trivia, where they were like, true or false, tennis is played with a ball.
Yeah, that's right. They like Googled hardest trivia questions and then had them write it down on a napkin and then like show it to the camera.
Like in the back half, they made people take an IQ test. They just printed off the internet, so we just watch people sitting at desks.
Even like the way that he measures like strong versus smart was such a
crazy.
It's just the alien goo that is Jimmy. Like, you know what I mean? None of those people, like, of course, it's all like people who are good at math. That's what Jimmy conceives as smart. Nobody knows anything about social sciences or anything like that, right?
Yeah, people who memorize things fast.
The blocks. It's always the fucking blocks.
Always the blocks with this guy. Well, look, we'll get into it. But before we talk about Beast Game Strong Smart, I feel like we should give a little bit of background for those of you who are not yet caught up on all things Beast Games, which is insane. I don't know why you wouldn't be, but
it's the most watched show in the history of Amazon.
That's right, AJ.
No, it's not. It's the most watched nonfiction show in the history of Amazon.
We had previously, of course, talked about Beast Games Season 1 with June, as we mentioned. We also, on Monday, talked about sort of what Mr. Beast was up to last year, pretty much up until the airing of Beast Games Season 2. Now, just for a little bit of recap of Beast Games Season 1, a man named Jeff won $10 million.
Yeah.
Also, another man named JC won $650,000, but did it in a way that made a lot of people really mad at him. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Well, and also the Lord was guiding the proceedings.
That's true.
I think another really important piece of context is season 1, the games were 99% horseshit.
Horrendous.
It was so clear in season 1, they had this idea to do the game show, and they showed up day 1, and they're like, wait, we don't have any games. We have all these people here. And they're like, I guess we can just throw balls off of buildings and like see how
we
far
built the buildings. So we can throw balls on the buildings. We can throw balls off the buildings.
They're all very recess themed.
Yeah. They are recess themed. They're recess coded.
And then the trolley problem.
Yes. So many fucking trolley problems, because the whole idea of season 1 of Beast Games was that it was basically Jimmy doing his own Squid Game.
And setting records, setting 40 Guinness World Records.
That's right.
So everything always had to be the biggest, the most expensive. They went way over budget. And to hear Mr. Beast talk about it behind the scenes, it sounds like they actually did lose money, and that his own company had to ante up to get the show renewed on basically his own dime.
Which they did, by the way. Variety reported on January 16, 2025, that Amazon basically announced that there were 50 million, what they called viewers of Beast Games within its first 25 days. Now, what the fuck is a viewer? We don't know.
What we saw from Nielsen ratings was somewhere around like 6 million like regular viewers,
which is
as
good,
opposed to
actually.
just like a click. Yeah, that's not bad for television at all, but it's not the biggest show ever.
The thing that was interesting, though, is that Amazon said that half of the viewers of Beast Games Season 1 were outside of the United States, and it did drive conversions to Amazon Prime. So they had an interest in renewing it, but because of the fact that there was such a significant cost overrun to the tune of tens of millions of dollars.
$10 million.
Multiple tens of millions of dollars, probably, right? They were a bit concerned about making the thing work budget-wise. But just a few months later, May 12, 2025, Amazon did announce at their annual upfronts in New York that they had renewed Beast Games for 2 more seasons, and filming for season 2 began in June.
I'm still stuck on the fact that this drove up subscriptions to Amazon Prime, and the only way I can rationalize that for myself is that people really needed to order rat poison immediately after watching the entirety of Beast Games.
I mean, just generally, a lot of people obviously really do like Mr. Beast, but there were people in season 2 of Beast Games when they were being interviewed that were like, I watched this with my whole family. We watched season 1 together. We all really loved it. This was like a really good bonding experience. So like, I mean, obviously it's going to select for those sort of people to be on the show, obviously. But I don't think that's just a coincidence, right? I think there is a lot of
schoolers' delight.
Well, I think it's also just think about all of the kids, all of the literal children who like went up to their parents and was like, Mom, I want to watch Beast Games. And so Mom whipped out the American Express and threw it down for a month of Amazon Prime, and then it just kept auto-renewing. In terms of the budget this past season for season 2, part of the costs were defrayed by the great state of North Carolina, which granted $15 million to Mr. Beast. This was, I should note, the maximum that can be granted to any single project under North Carolina's film industry grant program. And that represents approximately half of the annual budget of that program, which is $31 million a year.
The original location, of course, was up in Canada. They have decided not to go back to the original Beast City, which was surrounded by all of this like fake shit they would digitally composite in there. Here, when you see Beast City, North Carolina, they actually don't composite shit around it. And this is built on basically the Mr. Beast compound. This is where the house where the exes have to stay for a month together. Like, that's not very far away from here. This is where all of they've built like this giant freestanding studio, the largest in North America, for other Mr. Beast projects.
Jesus.
So they have all of these things going, and they have these deals with the state of North Carolina, with Lowe's Hardware for a lot of the materials that they use to build the campus. Plus, this is only for 200 people.
Such a better choice.
Season 1 started with 1,000 people. He also has this deal with Las Vegas, which is where the show begins.
Right.
Once more, the very first round is again in Las Vegas, Nevada.
What I have to say straight away is starting with 200 people instead of 1,000 solves the entire problem with like the first 2 episodes
Yes.
of season 1 of Beast Games, where it was just completely useless. It was just people standing in rows, pressing buttons. You didn't really get to know anyone. You didn't really see anything interesting. It was just sort of like flares in your eyes with all of the like graphics and flashing lights and it's like you're just watching people stand. And it was just some of the worst television, especially like game show television I had ever watched.
Yeah.
It's bad TV, but it also makes for bad logistics.
Yeah.
If you're talking about flying 1,000 people to Las Vegas, that is so much goddamn money for such little return on investment. In fact, I would argue negative ROI, right? It is actually a measurably worse show when you have that many people because you simply can't keep track of all of them.
Yeah, and we don't have reports necessarily of the lack of food that we did
Yes.
from season 1, where they got
forgot
like
about that.
the slice of cheese delivered to their room or whatever.
We don't have the lawsuits for season 2 that we had with season 1.
No, and I will say that like I listened to a podcast from 2 of the competitors who were talking about their time there. The podcast, I swear to God, is 12 minutes long. So it's one of those ones where I'm just like, they can be 12 minutes? What have we been doing? But anyway, this one's called Wait Say More with Eric Chang, and it's called The Realty on Beast Games with Michelle the Human Calculator, who we all remember. I actually misread her name initially and thought it said Michelle the Human Contradiction, which I'm like, wow, Beast Games is getting really deep with this season, I guess. Holy shit. We got enigmas. She talks about how in the hotel rooms, because they couldn't have their phones or anything, like the actual production team provided them with puzzles to do.
Oh.
Like little Mr. Beast themed like
Oh God, not even
puzzles?
just like giving them standard shit from like a game store. It has to be a 50-piece Mr. Beast puzzle.
Bro doesn't waste a second to advertise himself. It's astonishing.
But everyone was like, maybe these have something to do with the games we're going to play.
Of course, yeah.
Nope.
No, of course not,
Unrelated
yeah.
entirely.
Yeah, maybe Mr. Beast is giving us clues. This is part of his grand escape
Well,
room.
that would at
Mr.
least be
Beast, I
fun.
gave you all the clues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that would be a lot of
genuinely.
fun. You got to wonder how much fucking and sucking is going on at the Las Vegas hotel while
Well,
they're starting.
clearly
We
some
know of
part
2
of it.
people.
Yeah.
We know of 2 people who got fucking and sucking, and we'll talk about them a little bit later.
The finale aired on February 25, making it officially Emmy eligible for this year's Emmy Awards, and Jimmy will not shut the fuck up about it.
He wants that Emmy. He wants
it so bad.
One thing that you see if you look at Mr. Beast on YouTube, you will of course see his videos and the stuff done with YouTubers. What you will also find is a lot of him appearing on legacy media
Yes.
for their like new media branches. So you'll see interviews with Wall Street Journal. You'll see like Forbes and Esquire and Jimmy Fallon, you know, doing all
He
the
went
big
on
like
Hot Ones.
He went on Hot Ones. He's doing all the things that like people with charisma usually do, but it's all because this is the next step for him. His numbers, for the most part, are not going to go any higher.
He's plateaued in terms of what he can do with his existing reach and toolkit.
He has literally global saturation.
Yes.
He's broadening his empire. He is getting off just YouTube. It's time for television. It's time for the theater.
He has to figure out how to reach old people like us.
Mr. Beast is going to Broadway.
I think that like if you didn't know anything about him, it's the Jimmy Gambit, right? Oh, here's a nice young boy who's gotten all of his money for being positive and blah blah blah. But you don't know. Your Gam doesn't know that he gets this money by torturing people, basically.
Yeah, for his own enjoyment, despite what he claims that he's just a nice boy who likes
It's just altruism, AJ.
Yeah,
it's just
just
altruism.
giving
How
them
money
money.
to do
people.
Squid Games in real life, which, by the way, I didn't want to interrupt when we were talking about this before. It concerns me that he takes inspiration directly from spectacle television like that and was just beaten by Fallout.
And to go back to the Squid Game thing, of course, we talked about this a lot with Beast Game Season 1, our first Mr. Beast episode. He uses this word utopia a couple times on the show. Behind the scenes and in interviews, he uses the word utopia over and over and over and over again, which if you remember season 1 of Squid Game, that was a very long time ago, they get that point where they talk to the leader, he's wearing the mask and everything. They ask the leader, like, what are you building here? You know, like, what's the purpose of this? And he says, utopia. So I don't even know if Jimmy Donaldson is fully aware of what that word even means. I think he just watched Squid Game and that word just stuck in his head after that.
I think it's just like the continuous, like a confounding thing about Mr. Beast about Jimmy, where he sees things on his television and just thinks they're cool, doesn't really think any deeper about like the implication or like an underlying message.
The strong smart dynamic basically dies after episode 1. There are just people, if you pay attention, they have different jerseys that they wear. You have sleeves if you're smart, and you don't have them if you're strong.
Yeah, because you got to show off the guns.
But you're not part of like 2 separate teams the whole way throughout. It's just regular Beast games. It's just some people have been given a category, and you totally forget about it, except that he sometimes brings up, oh, only 2 of the smart players are left.
It's not sometimes. He does it almost, I think, every episode. He mentions it offhand. He's so excited too. Yeah. He's so excited when he's like, oh my God.
Even though it's functionally meaningless.
This is how the show starts. There's a shot of a microphone that is descending from the ceiling. Jimmy grabs it and starts talking.
Once again, I am standing on $5 million of real cash, an unfathomably large amount of money. But this year, competing for this money, 100 of the strongest contestants on the entire planet.
Let's go! We here, baby! We here! Let's go!
Versus 100 of the smartest contestants in the world. You're witnessing the first time in human history the 100 strongest and the 100 smartest have ever been in the same room. Will it be brains or biceps that wins Beast Games? Because only one of these 200 contestants is going to win $5 million. I'm Jimmy Donaldson, also known as Mr. Beast, and this is Beast Games, the biggest competition show in the history of television. Who's excited for season 2?
Yay!
We have measured their skulls.
Yeah, like how does he know? How does he know? Is like the intro is like you have to do the block game when you first intro.
It was in the application. It was in the application to the show this season, which also helped probably filter things a little bit, is that you would have to give your credential of how you're a strong person. So for some people, it's like a guy who's actually won like 5 strongman championships, a guy who's in the Navy, shit like that. And then on the smart side, you have a woman who can do a lot of really complex calculations in her head. You have someone who's just labeled boy genius.
There's a crypto content creator.
Yes.
Yeah, there's like a guy who just has an engineering degree. So it's like, what is smartness going to be on this show? And it's going to be what it was last season as well.
We are in a big dome that they built in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's very makeshift.
Yes.
So once it gets rained on, it tears into pieces.
I mean, Mr. Beast always does this sort of thing, but I think it's the most obvious in Beast Games season 1 and 2, where he's like, this is the biggest, these are the strongest, these are like, it's the definitive. He's so definitive about all this. It's kind of goated how much he just like lies and he can just do it. It's just like a good strategy that he uses all the time.
But if something is really nuts, you don't have to tell me it's nuts.
It's literally crazy.
I will see it and I will go, wow, that's nuts.
But he and his team are so bad at letting a spectacle land. For instance, it wasn't, even though he says it, again, the words just start to turn into mush because everything sounds exactly the same with the exact same cadence. He's built this entire giant platform on these like winches that rises up into the air, but I didn't even realize that it rose up into the air when I watched the episode. I only saw it, I really like sensed it when I was watching the behind the scenes.
Yes. The way that they shoot this, so they get all of the strong contestants out onto this platform. They start raising it on these pneumatic winches. It goes up, 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 up. But it's not really filmed in such a way where you can see it.
No, we're seeing it mostly from the mounted GoPros that are on the platform itself, so you don't get the sense of movement, and they're all doing close-ups of people's reactions to it moving.
And there are hundreds upon hundreds of cameras in this thing.
Yeah.
With everything like this, you are seeing example after example of we had all of the tools at our disposal, but nothing in the way of a cohesive vision. You have to find focus.
Yeah. And all those cameras are necessary because of the people backstage who have to track everybody.
Right.
And they have a really organizationally, this probably is a show that doesn't have any peer. But it doesn't show up in the finished product. What we do see is that we have producers who are very, very good at following their contestants, and they're able to drag character traits just over to this very easy access like window. And they're just constantly going through so that they have like dossiers that are updating regularly on every single player whenever people backstage are seeing something happen.
They're basically building a gigantic wiki with data about each of the competitors and their storylines, which is frankly really cool.
Except we don't, remember the champion? We don't know anything about that man. The person who wins this season is a guy that we don't spend any time with in the early episodes.
Hey, he's a pilot.
this season, I will give credit. There is a little bit more focus on actual human dynamics and interactions with other players.
You get
a little bit.
Yeah.
They are so lucky that those two people decided to just get married after 3 days.
I know.
Because that's the only real story happening on that campus this year.
And it was compelling. It was. Yeah.
For now, let's talk about the opening challenge for the strong ones. After they've raised this platform, there are all of these squares, basically, that open up. And then dangling from them are these long ropes. They have to climb down the ropes, pick up a set of blocks that is weighted down, and it is weighted down to 1/3 of each competitor's mass. Everybody has to pull up a different weight, basically, and then they have to climb back up to the top with the weight, and they have to stack the blocks because it's Jimmy and he loves blocks.
So the first 50 who do this out of 100, they get to move on. But of course, if you fall off, you're immediately eliminated. This is a game.
Yes.
It's a real game.
But when I was watching that, I remember being fairly impressed that some of these games were actually games, but I was also just still this doesn't seem right that it's exactly proportional, especially because how muscle builds, it doesn't necessarily, it's it's sort of like a Neanderthal's understanding of muscle and lifting things, because
the jocks design this game, surely.
No, I think somebody who does all body challenges, like Tyler, the guy who has won multiple World's Strongest Man competitions, it's about being strong in every part of your body. But different people body build in different ways.
Yes.
This is a challenge that is going to be good for people who have serious upper body strength. But if you've been building mostly lower body strength, climbing up a rope with 1/3 of your mass attached to your ass is not going to be easy at all.
This is actually the game where I noticed something in the background, because I had to watch this twice, because I watched it the first time with you two, and then I completely forgot it over the course of the month and a half, and I rewatched it.
Well, and Josh was screaming the whole time.
He was
hollering.
He was stamping the floor. This was totally
I got my
his shit.
dick out. It was crazy.
Yeah, it unfurled.
My neighbors were just beating down my door.
I showed them my dick.
Brian got evicted.
Only 42 contestants made it through the challenge.
Interestingly enough, it was an even amount of women and men, but it wasn't quite 50, so they had to do a tiebreaker challenge off camera of push-ups.
You're very wise for looking into this, because I was it's very convenient that in both challenges, the blocks one and the strength one, there seemed to be a fairly even amount straight away.
Oh, they fucked up the blocks even worse, and we're going to get to that.
I genuinely was wow, that just worked out perfectly. Turns out, no, Mr. Beast, classic Mr. Beast moment, doesn't actually design the game properly.
That's what a kid who has to go through remedial kindergarten has to say. Oh, I fucked up the blocks.
Let's go play blocks today.
Again, but he fucked up the blocks again. This was all season 1 was fucking up the blocks.
And the thing is, they don't just obfuscate this in the edit. They lie. They show oh, this is person 49 making it up. No, contestants 43 through 50 won the push-up competition.
But hey, it's better television. I don't want to see people do a fucking push-up competition. And last season was all push-up competition.
Yes. So, smart challenge. You got to stack blocks. You got blocks. They're in colors. You need to do the stacking in the same order that Jimmy stacked the blocks from memory.
Yeah, he makes his tower. He knocks it down. You have a timer. Stack up your blocks.
It started with just a few blocks. Everybody was able to do it easily, so they kept adding more blocks and making the time shorter. Eventually, Jimmy stacked 16 blocks and had everybody clear it in 30 seconds. This was way too difficult. Only 18 people passed.
Oh, no fucking way.
Dude.
But that's not what you see on camera.
Yeah, for them, they do sort of a graduated filter where it's like, okay, this number of people made it through. Okay, then we're going to step down and do one that's a little bit easier and then get more people until, we hit 50.
Not so smart, actually, it turns out. I thought these were the smartest people. Blocks are really hard for the 100 smartest people in the world.
But they so basically Jimmy like went way too hard, way too fast, and they had to ramp the challenge back down to get up to 50.
And it's not a test of anything, and it's not getting anyone to compete against each other.
Right.
No.
So it's, I mean, grading on the Beast Games curve, okay, it's okay. But, you know, versus any other game show that you've ever seen in your life, not great.
What I will say is Mr. Beast this season is so lucky that season 1 was just such dog shit, because it really gets away with that previous context in mind, because even considering all of this stuff, it was a lot more interesting to watch. Right away, I was like, okay, this is actually something. I'm actually interested.
What I saw following the subreddit, which is something that Jimmy Donaldson himself really fixates on, is the subreddit and the subreddit traffic.
Oh,
which
that's where logic happens.
It was 10 times higher this year, but it still wasn't exactly high.
He found all the smart people in there.
People did not like the show as much in season 2, and I think it was mostly because they were convincing themselves to like it in season 1, and now it's just like, well, it's more of this shit. Huh?
That's interesting because like the critics, if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, they are far more favorable towards season 2 than season 1.
Which I think just means that he and his company are playing the game a lot better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're talking about the fucking entertainment press.
I thought that just production quality, everything was a lot better. I guess maybe I'm a sucker for the critics, but I kind of agreed. It was largely better, or let me put it this way. As somebody who wanted to kill myself both seasons, I wanted to kill myself about 30% less this year.
Oh, okay.
Huge achievement.
Okay. So I need to be the counterpoint here, because in season 2, they replay a lot of the games that they do in season 1.
Yes.
Games that they play tested in season 1 and they found out did not fundamentally work. Yeah. And they did them again. Yeah. So no, I don't give this season a fucking pass, because they already did it. They did it in season 1 and it failed. It fell on its face, and I will not reward them not learning from their mistakes. I won't.
Folks, AJ, Mr. Beast, hey, Jimmy, if you're listening to this, AJ's put you on fucking notice, bud.
You are the antithesis of everything I hold dear in humanity. Yeah. You need to stop making content. You need to stop.
I'll be so honest. I think a part of this for me is that I have just consumed so much Mr. Beast at this point. It's fucking wearing me down. It's exposure therapy. I'm like,
with you.
30 hours in, my eyes taped open. Wow, this guy's not so bad after all.
Putting you in the fucking Ludovico device to watch Mr. Beast.
I finished up the season yesterday and I just had the worst headache. I was like, I can't stand this shit. Something that's worth noting here too is the cross promotion stuff that he's doing. There were 40 other YouTubers who were involved in Beast Game Season 2. You don't see them on the show itself.
What?
For the most part. You see Drewski, but like these other content creators make all of these videos leading up to or airing at the same time as Beast Game Season 2 that are like, I was on the Beast Game set and I hung out with these guys. Or like there's a dude who's hiding in the pile of money because he's been body painted to look like the pile of money. What? So there's a point where there's just a person in there.
Nude?
He looks nude.
No, because he's a coward. But he's in a skin colored spandex suit. And all of that again is really just for them to be able to put Beast Games in their title, to get that going for them on YouTube search, and then to promote Beast Games using their channels. Really, it's a bigger boon for Jimmy than it is for any of them.
Mr. Beast has really mastered the like massive cross promotional model. He does that for pretty much everything he does. Especially, I mean, as we talked about on the part 1 of Beast Week on the Kill the Computer feed, talked about like how he did that to an insane degree with his like Team Water philanthropy stuff.
He also did multiple cuts of certain episodes. So for the first episode, he has a Spanish YouTuber on the show. So the version of episode 1 that you see in Spain is different because it's partially hosted by that Spanish YouTuber.
Really?
The same for episode 2 in France, which has a French YouTuber as like a featured guest. But in our version here in America, we don't even see them once.
To the point of Mr. Beast and how good he is at cross promotion generally. Another great example of that is once we get into New Beast City. On the compound.
Take me down to the New Beast City where I drown in the pool that's built for a kitty. It's like,
Yeah, someone almost breaks his neck immediately because they have
jumps in the pool and
they're
it's like, oh, fuck,
look
no.
at these reflecting pools we have. They are 2 feet deep. And somebody just jumps in and I was, it made my whole body like shiver.
Well, because you just know that the reason those pools were so shallow is that Jimmy wanted pools and legal said, the hell you're getting pools.
Exactly, yeah.
And somebody jumped in thinking it was a pool, when in fact it was 2 feet deep.
Well, the good news about arriving at New Beast City is that you find out what your diet's going to be for the next 45
That's right.
days.
Feastables.
And turns out it's Feastables and unlimited Starbucks, which means I'm living exclusively on Starbucks
They
for 45
have
days.
That's their craft services. They do have catering for lunch and dinner, and they have a catering tent right outside of the campus.
Oh, thank God.
But yes, for your snacks during the day, instead of the sensible craft services of getting like assorted nuts and Twizzlers and everything
Red
like
Vines,
that. Every single production that you have ever seen on American television runs on Red Vines and or Twizzlers. But their craft services, unfortunately, are hunks of rubber known as Feastables and Lunchleys, but also a free Starbucks kiosk.
Gives a lot of context to the cubes.
Also, just like the bleak Americana of it, where he's like, you can get free Starbucks, and like 50 people immediately run over to get like Sugar Slop Mountains.
I'm going to order Charlie Kirk's favorite tea.
But like going back to the earlier point about Beast's utopia, he talks in some of this behind the scenes shit about how like he wanted this to be a place where people be like, once they've gone home, they're gonna be like, damn, that was the best place in the world. I miss it so much.
We're doing Beast Aspara, dude.
Jimmy Donaldson made North Carolina bloom. There is a point where he refers to this. I think he might have done this in season 1 as well. So if I did this in last year's episode, I apologize that I'm repeating it. But he calls it a mega city. And it's like 100 people are in it. That's not even a micro city. That's a village.
There's like pods, dude.
Yeah, it's like the size of a track and field stadium.
Oh my God, Mr. Beast did it. He made a Hamlet.
But like in terms of the accommodations, it's just barracks basically, with these bunk beds in them. That's it.
Yeah.
You can go die in the wading pool. You can go play basketball. You can lift weights. You can drink Starbucks. You can eat Feastable, and you can go sleep in the barracks. Those are your options.
I'm sorry, you can play with Rubik's Cube.
Oh, I forgot about the Rubik's Cube. Sorry.
They have a laboratory. They have a laboratory for the smart people where you can do math equations and play with a Rubik's Cube.
And a small periodic table of the elements that has small samples of every element that is not radioactive.
That is like the thing that, like, if you go to Amazon and you type, I am a grandma and my son likes science, that's the first thing that will pop up on the
like
Amazon
Mr. Beast,
feed.
like catching a frog, putting it in a jar, and it's like, here's some twigs, like, but for nerds. He's like, oh, they like Rubik's Cubes, right? These fuckers.
It's amazing how like he thinks he's doing something so cool. It's like, the smart people are gonna love this, but it's like so condescending.
Yes.
It's like so. It's like I'm insulted watching it for these people that are being
No, they
called.
deserve it.
They do. They absolutely do. But it's. I just couldn't believe that Mr. Beast is like he treats these people as if they're fucking like servants
Puts them
of
in a
him.
fucking Scandinavian prison, dude.
Yeah, but also I will say like they're 12. He treats them like they're 12 because this show, more than anything I've ever watched, is Everybody is 12 the show.
Yes.
And that's sort of the interesting thing is I think objectively season 2 is better than season 1, but there's these aspects of it, like the strong and smart aspect of it, that there have been several times in this season where it makes me stand up and like walk away, just like fuming. I'm just like, what the absolute fuck is he talking about?
Like if you wanted something that would actually appeal to smart people, you just have like a library and then a fuckload of PlayStations, and that would be it.
I mean, worth saying he did have board games, which, okay, there were board games. People
Did he
could sit
have
around and play
Settlers of
board
Catan?
games during the 60 days that they were at Beast City.
God. Which board games were there? Did you see?
I know that Settlers was in there. He
of
likes
course.
Catan. He always talks about Catan for some reason. Like I've noticed him
'Cause you get to
mentioning
build
that
cities.
game a lot. Well,
I
and you
mean-
get to exploit resources and cheat people.
Hey!
You know,
What you
Not
should
cheat,
do-
but you can screw people over really badly.
If you
And I'm sure
really
he's
want
great
to
at
appeal
it.
to the nerds, all you need is 2 games, Diplomacy and Twilight Imperium. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
they
it.
should get those big like single playthrough Risk games that take 50 hours, but
Yes.
you tear up the cards and everything.
No, he presented it to legal, and they said they'll kill each other. No risk.
Once we're in Beast City, another thing that's very notable to me is that when it rains even a little bit, everything gets waterlogged because the whole thing is built on top of concrete. And so
Yeah.
they've just like laid down some turf on top of it. Everybody's slipping and sliding everywhere.
Yeah.
And the first major challenge that occurs in Beast City is, well, actually, it's not in Beast City. They leave Beast City to go to a soundstage in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is really the fuck far away, actually, from Greenville.
I love the portal. He like was like, this is a next level.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
next
yeah.
level. The portal.
Portal's so great.
I wanted them to jump into the portal and like spin like they do in Austin Powers through the time portal. At least like give me some pizzazz. But instead, we just enter into this giant white dome.
It has a light up floor.
He's got a little twist for us, I think.
Wilmington is a 4.5 hour drive. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, that's why he built a portal.
That's true.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's true, to get them there immediately. Because once they are in the sound stage for the challenges, we have a self-elimination challenge.
I hate this shit, dude. This was some of the worst parts of season 1, and then
Yes.
season 2, he does it all the fucking time again.
I want to see people play a game, a fucking game.
I
but
don't
this
want
one,
to see people press a button and give up. I want them to suffer. I want people to suffer. I don't want them to be like, I'll take the money right away. Yeah. Mr. Beast just loves seeing people be like, I want money. Mr. Beast wants people to be like, give me the money. That's he gets turned on by that.
Yeah.
this one's so obvious. He's offering so much money, and it's only for 10 people. Of course, they're gonna.
$100,000.
Yeah.
Of course, you should take the fucking money. Are you
You're
kidding
done.
me?
I'm done. I'm
You're
going home,
stupid
bitch.
if you don't do that.
Literally.
Oh, God. But there's a catch. There's a catch,
Oh,
folks.
there's a catch, which is
there's
that
a catch.
someone will play in your place, but it's not going to affect you because you left already.
You win. You won.
You
You
should
got
at least be entitled
$100,000.
to a bit of their earnings. That would make the selection more fun.
But the person who plays in your place, they're not just going to be anybody.
Oh,
They're going to be somebody
Are they gonna be
from
famous?
season 1 of Beast Games. Jeff's
cool.
back. You guys remember Jeff?
Yeah, he won. He's very handsome, and he won.
Remember Twana?
Yes, Tawana was the one everyone liked.
Remember JC?
The one everyone hated.
They're all back.
His vision is augmented.
JC is some terrible gay representation on
Yes, he
TV.
is.
I'm going to say that.
I'll give Mr. Beast some credit. I do like that he brought back some of the evil people
The
that
heels.
creates drama. The heels.
Yeah.
Shows like this are very important.
Yeah,
to
they
have
brought
heels.
back who's the guy who won the Lamborghini again? That guy's name?
Akira who won the
Yeah.
the
The
Lamborghini.
assassin.
The guy
assassin.
Akira, who I'm like, he's always just playing the game, so I
Oh, it's-
respect him.
it's so
they,
fun.
They brought back one of the Blowjob brothers.
Yes.
They also cast the husband of the woman who the Blowjob brothers eliminated in season 1.
Yeah, this worked out great for them.
I wanted to blow my brains out anytime that dude was talking. I gotta be honest.
He was so annoying.
It was really, really annoying.
Well, and they brought in 10 of these people from season 1. So now the show has lore. You have to go back and watch season 1 to understand season 2. And half of those people are gone by the end of the episode. They don't get to the chance to do anything.
But why did they bring them back?
Yeah. Also, why didn't they bring them back in a different way that sacrificed some of the newer players?
Well,
like they got their shot. Like I feel
yeah.
like they could have just been there.
They could have
They
been
answer this
presenters. They could have done something.
To Tyler Conklin, who is
Yeah.
the lead producer of the show,
Yep.
he said there was a big critique in season 1 that they were not comprehensive enough with their storylines. And so they brought these people back so they could continue their stories.
Okay,
No,
what?
that's why you just focus on the news stories more.
Yes,
you
correct,
fucking
Brian.
idiot. You don't give it continuity. You don't put things in the item descriptions that harken back to last year.
Especially if it's like, I mean, really long term, we'll get to some of these episodes later,
Yeah.
but really the only thing most of these characters that that survive past this episode do is they're sort of looked at as like an elder figure among the people, and they're like, oh, they have so much knowledge of the beast world. They're gonna like guide you all through this. They're gonna, and it's like guide them through throwing balls at each other. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
This points out a big failure of the selection process for season 2 is that like everybody's 20, and in season 1 you had a wider age range, and all of these people, well, a couple of the people are kind of forgettable, but like all these people have interesting faces, so you're already like on board to watch them, and that's not really the case of any of the season 2 characters.
They all look very similar. That's a really good observation.
Yeah.
I didn't specifically notice that, but it was really hard until maybe it whittled down to 10 players, like the final 10 is really when some of the storylines got interesting and notable, and even some of those characters in the later 10 were not really compelling.
This season, from beginning to end, was like a boys club led thing.
Yeah.
So was it that first day when Monica and I'm blanking on the boyfriend's name, Jim, they meet like
he kept looking at the camera exasperated
straight away.
Oh, these two have the most fucking rancid vibes, Jim and Monica.
Jim is one of those like really fruity heterosexual guys who really is like totally heterosexual, but is still just like very flamboyant, and he has this sort of perma smile thing going on.
He's a Pomeranian, really.
Yeah, he's exactly the kind of person who's going to meet someone at a hotel and be like, yeah, I'm gonna marry them. And they don't actually show this on the series itself, but the two of them do end up having this like common law marriage ceremony that's officiated by the boy genius
in the city
by Phoebe Bridgers herself. Yeah, so they have like their team up, and of course we came off of watching Traitors, and so in my head, I'm like expecting good television, and I'm waiting for him to just burn her and just end up being Satan incarnate.
That's what I wanted.
He really is just like, I'm gonna do everything to get her through. This is fun because like it's discernible. It's a thing that is actually happening, and I know what's happening. And they should have shown the wedding footage. They should have just let us get fully into that insanity.
Can we talk about some of the games in this episode? Because I'll be so honest, this was some of the best of the season and some of the fucking worst.
In this all white padded room in Wilmington, North Carolina.
With a light up floor that they have processed every shot to shit. So it looks like it's all post-production special effects, and Jimmy's very upset that everyone keeps saying it's post-production.
Yeah,
it's like, well, don't make your show like that.
Yeah, because it's actually kind of a cool effect. They put LEDs under the floor.
It's huge.
There are 4 games, and everybody has an opportunity to pick from these 4. There's balls, balance, bluff, and blocks.
Someone must have told them that blocks was going to be the only good game.
Yep.
Because like half of the group just picks blocks.
But let's go through in order, shall we? The first one, game of balls. This is dodgeball. It's bullshit.
It's dodgeball, and they're trying to do the like social engineering thing where you just get bullied because the line is constantly changing, and it's just irritating to watch. And thank God for Akira, because he actually does something.
Yeah, he keeps it like, if it wasn't for him coming back, this game probably wouldn't have been as interesting. It is. I personally was very entertained by this because I mean it was very unfair. It was very social in-group out-group. I noticed for the first time season 1 or 2 I was glued to the television, and like after the game ended I was like, what the fuck happened to me? I was like, it came out of that like psychosis.
They're like, oh, this person is going to be the person we get out, and then when the line gets drawn, there's this one lady who's separated from everyone, and they're like, oh, we didn't mean her, and Akira's like, well, I'm playing the game, so fuck
he's
it.
The only
throws
person.
The ball,
So
gets her
funny.
out, and so everyone's like, we're going to target Akira now. And
they
no
all
one knows
miss.
how to throw a ball.
And they miss.
Every single person in the game throws a ball at him, and he just like falls down on the floor and gets hit by nothing. Legend. More Akira, please. Just bring him back every season because he actually plays a game.
After dodgeball, we move on to the game of balance.
Stupid.
This game is also bullshit.
Stupid game.
I skipped this part. I'm gonna be totally honest. It was so boring.
Good for you.
Yeah, good call. Honestly,
This could be an okay game, but they really overcomplicate everything about it. It's just like you put a rock on and then you see if that tilts the scale enough that this glass heart falls off.
To be clear, these are not scales in the sense that you're trying to balance one way or the other. It's that on one end of the scale, it can't go down.
Yes.
And on the other end of the scale, it can if the weight on that side is heavier than the weight on the other side.
So the rocks have to be equal to or lesser than, but you can't take a rock away. So every round you have to add a rock.
it feels like a worse Mario Party minigame. I feel like he just played like open Mario Party 4 and was like, that's dope. he found like this mini game.
Yeah,
in
this
there.
is like the Marienbad game.
This actually is the most like Squid Game the whole season is. Because
Yeah.
over the course of the season, it does seem like as though Jimmy starts off being like, we're doing Squid Game Season 2 because they brought Squid Game Season 2 brought back its protagonist to play in a Squid Game. So why shouldn't we bring back our
fuck me,
protagonist?
You're totally right
You're
about
so
that.
to be in this one,
Yeah.
right? And so these games to me are the most Squid Game, right? We have an
Yeah.
American childhood game, Dodgeball. We have Balance Game, which only makes sense if the people who lose get shot.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
that's the only way it's at all interesting.
Yes.
And then we have the Betrayal Game, which we will certainly get to. And then a fourth
And then
game,
Blocks.
that gun to my head, I could not tell you what it was. Is it Blocks again?
It's
Blocks.
Blocks. That
It's
was the
the
one that
big
was actually
blocks.
good.
It's the big blocks.
But like the scale game introduces these sugar glass hearts. They're very, very fragile. We had these like sugar glass balls from season 1. Do you remember that game where they had to pass a ball down a line?
Yeah,
like you had to do in youth group.
It was like on the edge or something. They were like balancing it like across
Yeah, but then
people.
you just won by not passing it down. Anyway, so the hearts here break incredibly easily before they even hit anything. The moment they start tipping over, they start to break.
They're sugar
and then they
glass.
have
Sugar glass breaks incredibly
Yeah.
easily. That's why they use it when you're whacking somebody over the head in a movie
and
with
it's,
a bottle.
It's spectacular because they've also filled it with little red gems.
Yeah.
For some reason, the hearts become a motif.
Yes.
They've only just now been introduced. They don't have anything to do with like the design of the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, we just start seeing hearts everywhere in the back half.
And there's one thing that's even more insane about this game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, Jimmy's got his dogs out.
What?
I shit you not.
He's barefoot?
I don't know if he's barefoot or if he's wearing socks,
Why
but
did you
he's
notice his
certainly
feet?
not wearing shoes.
How did you notice his feet? You just
I
honed in
didn't
on
know.
him.
I did not notice it. My spouse who was watching with me did.
Oh, of course. Anne would
For
notice
free. He
that
gave
Jimmy's
us
got
this
his
for
dogs out.
free?
Yeah.
For free.
For free.
For free.
All you have
Jimmy
to do
doesn't
is-
give you anything for free.
All you have to do is get Amazon Prime subscription. You can
this
see
is-
all my 10 little hogs.
He has T-Mobile tattooed on his toes. Yeah.
This is such wild shit because there is glass. I mean, it's not glass,
That's
but
true.
sugar
Yeah.
glass all over the floor. He's got his fucking dogs out. What are you doing, my guy?
Apparently, after each one of these falls, too, it's 40 minutes of cleanup.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
this is why you're
God.
going over budget,
Right.
dumbass. Everyone's going into overtime every single night for 2 months straight.
Well, you see the way he handles props in this. Once he's done with something,
Discards
he
it.
pushes it over, he throws it behind
Yeah.
him like a 9-year-old throwing a tantrum.
I think, yeah. I mean, he's done that in like his Mr. Beast YouTube channel historically as well. Yeah.
Some of the videos that we
Yeah.
watched for Monday's episode, he fucking threw shit over.
They do the Aqua Teen Hunger Force explosion, whenever he
explosion,
throws
yeah.
something.
It's-
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's not funny
No,
when
it's
on
not.
Aqua
It's
Teen.
funny in Aqua Teen, but it's not funny if you're doing it in a real life
Yeah,
video.
it's just sort of it's sort of upsetting when he does it in especially this show because it's like
Yeah, because
that's
somebody's got to pick that shit up.
and someone made
Yeah.
like a fairly nice physical prop a lot of the times, like
Right.
especially
Yeah.
later on when he does the wheel. It's like he does that to the fucking wheel, and it's like somebody probably spent so
Yeah.
much time on that. Like obviously some of these things will never always be around, but it just feels disrespectful. I don't
Maybe
know.
there would be something to it if it actually exploded. Right? If
Yeah.
this little spinning wheel, they're like, we're done with this, and then it just
that'd be
goes
really
up.
funny. Yeah.
But yeah, of course, yeah, that's not what happens here. We break all these little hearts. This game goes on for fucking ever.
Horrible.
That's a theme.
If it was just like 3 people, like 3 different groups, it would have been fine. But it was like like 24 people total, and it just
Yeah.
got so. I'll be
Just
honest,
the
too
back and
boring.
That's why I
Yep.
skipped.
Yep.
I watched
Yeah.
enough of it. I was like, okay, we
you
got
know what's happening, and
Well,
it doesn't
nothing
mean
changes,
anything.
yeah.
Actually, to be clear, the next game, the bluffing game,
Yes.
was something that I thought was, of all episodes, it only lasts like 15 minutes, but it's the most philosophically interesting
Yes.
aspect
Yes.
of the entire show, and
Yes.
it's a fucking footnote.
Agreed.
Absolute
Agreed.
nadir of all television
Okay,
ever.
so I will describe what happens in the game of bluff, and we will talk about it. So there are 4 different colored circles on the floor. Everyone is then given a colored chip on the back of their head, which of course they cannot see. This is a trust-based game where you have to ask the people around you, hey, what's the color on the back of my head? They will tell you what the color is. You will go stand in the circle. The idea being that some people are going to basically bluff. It's not really bluffing. It's just lying, let's be honest. But he calls it bluffing in order to eliminate some of the competitors. However, they only do this to one guy, and it's the fucking blowjob brother who everybody hates.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's the Habibi guy, and he just happened to choose the team of the dude whose wife he eliminated last season.
That was a self-inflicted error, dude.
Yeah, why would he do that?
And
that
so
little rat boy finally got his vengeance. Of course, he immediately is eliminated later, but it was very funny.
And when you're this early on, like you're gonna go with whatever the first nudge is. We saw that with Dodgeball. It's just like, even if it's a little rat boy telling you to get rid of someone, it's like, well, okay, he really hates that guy. It's probably for a reason, so we'll get rid of the
But it's
BB.
so interesting because, like, have any of you guys ever read Leviathan, Thomas Hobbes?
Yes.
Okay, so he has this idea. It's the war of all against all. And Thomas Hobbes is a British pervert. He's wrong about everything. You don't need to. But his idea is essentially that in a society without any sort of like state to subjugate and keep people in place, there's going to be anarchy and chaos. And that's what Mr. Beast, like, this is what Jimmy thinks is going to happen.
Yes, he's essentially Hobbesian in his idea of the state of nature. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the complete opposite happens. Aside from the fucking rat boy, everybody without any, they don't gain anything from this solidarity. But they do this sort of like mutual aid thing, and then Jimmy has to come in as the state actor and eliminate them.
Okay,
and he's so annoyed.
He's so annoyed.
So
I pulled the clip. Let's listen to it.
And that was it. The last elimination we had for quite a while. Because even though these players all chose a game called Bluff,
Start the timer!
round after round, they refused to lie to each other.
I'm not gonna lie to anyone.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
I will not lie to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're good here.
You all still refuse to lie.
Somebody's gotta lie to somebody, bro, and it's not gonna be me, bro. I'm not a liar.
I'm gonna give you one more chance to play this game the way it was designed to be played. But if you guys once again refuse to lie to each other, refuse to bluff,
You will give me no choice but to go to my plan B. And I promise you, none of you are gonna like plan B.
I have a gun.
And so he just brings out this lockbox that has
You can hear
names
the
in it,
scorn
and
in
he
his
just starts
voice, by the way.
drawing numbers.
And
This lockbox is not a themed lockbox.
No.
They went to Hobby Lobby and got a fucking little
I
pine
feel like
box.
he sent an intern to get that after.
Yes,
like,
yeah,
round
absolutely.
three.
And they got little strips of computer paper that I think were hand torn
Yeah.
and handwritten with each person's name on it. Worth noting, there was a second elimination where Mr. Beast basically made up a fucking rule just to get someone out of the game because she walked through a color on the way to her color.
Stupid.
And it's like, if anyone had walked, say, through blue when they were blue and then ended up in the middle of the floor without a color, they would have been thrown out.
Oh,
There's no reason Mr. Beast would have kept them in the color. He was just flailing and trying to figure out any possible way to get someone out of this
Even the
round.
most like jug blowing, bottlehead, fucking broccoli haired racist guy won't betray anybody. He's like, he flogs his intern and sends him to Hobby Lobby to get the box.
It's so funny because he's like, I'm going to have to use my plan B. Fuck, I didn't think about a plan B. I did not think about a single plan B for this
And
bluff game.
This is like the entire quandary with Mr. Beast always in season 1 and season 2, where it's like he really wants to force people to betray each other because it's like it's sort of easy drama.
Right? But that's also what he thinks humans are.
Yeah.
At their core, that they will betray each other if the dollar amount is high enough.
Why wouldn't he at least just try and bribe them? Like, if somebody betrays somebody, you get 50 grand or something, right?
It's one thing to, be playing a game and be like, my EV at this point is below what I am being offered for staying in the game or whatever, right? Therefore, I'm willing to take the bribe. That is a different thing from, I have two options. I can hold with all of the people around me, or I can go against my own code of ethics and eliminate somebody else in a manner that I find unethical. I would rather leave it up to Jimmy to do the elimination rather than being judge, jury, and executioner myself.
Because if the only option is to let either fate work his magic or make people hate you, obviously, because like that's the only other option. There's no benefit to bluffing to people, no benefit at all, because it's going to be televised. Mr. Beast is going to do his thing that he does. He's like, after a round, he'll be like, oh my God, he lied. He did this. He did this. Mr.
How do you
Beast,
feel about him betraying you?
Yeah. Did you guys notice, by the way, that he also does this thing where he overdubs himself where it looks like he's talking to a live audience and he clearly isn't?
They're constantly doing pickups because most of these games don't make any fucking sense since they're always trying to revise like how to explain it to the audience at home.
The best games are the ones that you constantly have to explain the rules.
Right. And like this this game, this bluff game, also just has a fundamental design problem, which is that it's too hectic. How are you going to be able to make your alliance that's going to set up, okay, we're definitely going to lie to this guy? The only reason it works in that very first round is because everyone just doesn't say anything to him at all.
Right.
And he just happens to
true.
step into the wrong
lie
color.
to him. They just don't give him an answer at all.
Like when you have a bluffing, there are plenty of bluffing games that do what he wants them to do. They suck to watch, but they always work in private. You have two people conning one other person, or one-on-one, or like 5 people at most, but there's not this, like, everyone's running around, they have 20 seconds. Yeah, someone might lie to you, but then you ask 2 other people who don't know anything about you yet, like, they're going to tell you the truth.
Say what you will about the Stanford prison experiment, but there was some artistry behind that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, or call me out if I'm wrong, but I think this is by far the worst game this season.
I think for me, the back half still has the worst games because they literally are the games from season 1.
Yeah, they get lazy at the end of the show. I think is more
bring back
later.
the cubes.
I think the bluffing in episode 9 is the worst thing I've ever watched on television.
Yeah,
I know that a lot of people like, I just lost track of things, but it was unendurable. That thing is an hour and
episode.
10 minutes of just people like screaming number amounts at each other, which is why Mr. Beast was jerking it to it, I'm sure. He's just like, save $5,000 again.
We'll get to that, but at least with that one, even though it went on way too long, it is a game, and there are stakes, and there are things that can be used in one way or another. And because there is one-on-one conversation, it is possible to bluff in a way that is not possible here.
Yes.
I'm with Brian.
Like the actual things happen. Yeah.
That like this is just nothing. There is nothing here, and I think that is why as a game
I love
it fails.
seeing him have to do something that costs about $5, right? He brings out these pieces that don't carry his brand. They're not covered in melted Feastable.
Right.
They don't have any cheese that's drippy, bruh.
No.
And it's just computer paper in a box. This is the stuff I jerk off to. I get off so hard on this shit.
I love when Mr. Beast is squirming and upset and mad at his contestants and wants to scream.
Because at least it's honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the game of blocks. And this is actually a cool challenge, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think there are tweaks that he could have made to it, because I think their goal, they all have to stack giant blocks and climb the blocks and reach a flag. I think the flag's too high.
It's too
high. This game took everyone 7 hours to play. And the sun literally rises before they complete it.
7 hours?
I wonder if anybody play tested any of these fucking games.
But the idea of it is right. Like that's a real game. I would love to see them actually just do this same one again in season 3 and make it so you can actually make wider structures too. Like they're using every single block all the way straight up, and that's just kind of dumb.
Because again, it's too tall. But when you're talking about like game design in a game show, the best games are going to combine impressive physical feats of strength with team-based planning. And this does both of those things. The team, they're all running to grab the blocks, they're running to lay them down, and then you have somebody who has to, summit the blocks and grab the flag up top. If it weren't Beast games, they would have been able to do it in a way that would be straightforward, wouldn't have taken 7 hours, but at the end of the day, you do still get this sense of like real group accomplishment because everybody is bought into the task at hand, which is not the case with any of the other games.
I think it's the perfect follow-up from the bluff game in that way, where it's just like no one's really on each other's side, no one really is collaborating, everyone is just sort of off put at the entire time. But there's something really compelling about like this team building, this like physical tower together, and like actually talking. Like you see shots of them talking and planning and like collaborating and being like, oh my god, is he doing okay up there? Like, should we swap out? Like there's actual strategy going on.
People working together is really fun, and there's no added complication. There's no bullshit that he jumps in and does. We're just watching people work really hard to accomplish a goal.
And we don't get any of the lateral twists of the previous season of Beast games or most of the other games this season.
No betrayals, no stupid emotional shit. We are just playing the game, and it rocks. Worth noting, we kind of said it before, but just to establish that the husband, the vengeful husband, gets out as the very last elimination of the bluff game. So the first one out is the Habibi brother, who he set out to destroy, and then he is the very end of it, and that does give a sort of dramatic loop to the whole thing. The game still sucks, though.
I hate it. Like, I'll be so honest. There was that that storyline, but I hated it. I hated that it ended so short. I'll be so honest. I hated the husband. I did not like him.
That's the thing. I hated the husband, so I didn't want to see him continue on in further challenges being annoying.
I was
so it was
happy
great
he was gone.
to watch it just like close out. It was like it was a little Shakespearean. It was just like he accomplished his goal of murdering this man and died in the process.
It was just the way he was talking about the whole ordeal from season 1, and the way he was talking about his wife, like she was heartbroken for like the last year and a half.
She died of melancholy.
It was bad.
This is the big problem. Everyone on Beast Games needs to get a fucking grip. You were on TV, now you're off TV. Get a grip. Get a grip.
I hate his wife too. Fuck all of them.
Yes. Fuck you and your wife.
At least
I don't care who you are.
To agree with you, the Habibi brother actually he played the game. He played the game. He was evil. It was bad. He was mean.
I followed him on Instagram today. By the way.
He does actually end up crying backstage. You see in the behind the scenes features, but he's
the
like
Habibi guy.
Yeah, because he was like, man, but he didn't. He doesn't do it in like he doesn't make it a whole thing. He's just backstage like, yeah, that sucked. I feel really bad.
He was kind of hoping he could show another side to his personality.
Yeah.
That's just because he's a streamer now, by the way.
But but like that's not what this show is.
No, it's not.
Right. That's the thing that's always impressive to me about the way that power warps your perception of someone, like the high value individual in Disco Elysium. It's like you look online, you look at the players themselves, and they're like, this person's a bastard because he did it to me. And it's like, well, Mr. Beast was right next to him saying, you should do this to that guy.
Yeah.
You should hurt people and then you should hurt yourself. And all of these people still love Mr. Beast. They don't think of him as a demon. He's living his dream. He did it all by himself.
He did. He also did a challenge on Beast Games of what if American Ninja Warrior was stupid and sucked and the rules were different every time.
No, absolutely. And you know what? He did it all without any funding from Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry, what's that?
I can't quite hear. You're breaking up. It's okay. Call back later.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So I don't think we really need to talk about that one. It's just there's an obstacle course.
It's a pretty bland obstacle course, which actually worked in their favor because they ended up having historic rainfall that night.
This is a minor point, but as they're revealing like the types of game that will be happening on the obstacle course, they have one that's team race, where all the teams race. And then they have a separate one that's called team race. And then in the tiniest font imaginable, it says, with money.
They do a bribe, but they just do it kind of weirdly where you have to run off of your platform
pick up a
before
money
you start.
bag,
And
and
so
then I
everyone's
think-
like, well, I'm just going to go forward. Sorry.
And no one does it.
I think you're supposed to take the money bag with you, I think. I didn't understand
maybe.
it.
I don't know.
You're supposed to carry
understand
the
it.
money bag with you.
But
And
that
everyone's
was
just like,
too
I don't want to do
difficult.
that.
Yeah,
No,
the
thank you.
platforms were
Rain?
wet.
No way. No way.
Yeah, basically the only people who truly just like fall off here are people who are short.
Yes.
So you just had to select for people who were tall.
We gave traders a little bit of shit for their game design outside of the actual round table stuff. And dear God, I